So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Python program in TextEdit, another piece of software that you should have already on your Mac. If you're on a PC, Notepad would be the closest equivalent. Now, my TextEdit looks this way because I've already configured it. However, yours probably doesn't. Let me go into Preferences, and I'm going to tell it to restore all defaults. And I'm going to restart TextEdit. There it is. Yours probably looks like this. That's a problem because this is a rich text format, and that means there's a bunch of extra stuff that allows the text to be large or bold or underlined, all these extra things in there that give you customization options. And I mean, that's not bad, it's great, but it's not good for programming because that's extra code that's in the background that can screw up what we're doing. So you need to go up here to Preferences, and you need to change a bunch of stuff. So we need to change plain text. We want to take off all of these, just remove all of them. Under Open and Save, we don't want it to add the .text file. We'll go ahead and tell that to display HTML as HTML. Even though we're not doing HTML, we'll go ahead and mark it anyways. Preserve white space, that's important. Yeah, that should work. So it doesn't change automatically. We actually have to quit TextEdit and reopen it. Alright, so this is what you want. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can more easily see what I'm doing. That should be pretty good. So I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to do print, and we'll do hello world. Right? Actually, you know what? Let's not use the function. Let's use the statements. We're also going to do exit. And we didn't do this before because we were just in a live interpreter. But in here, because we're going to run this as a program, it's a good idea. Is it needed? No, not necessarily, but it's a good idea. It's a good practice. Now what we're going to do is we need to save it. So file save, and Unicode 8, that should be good. Make sure that we mark this because we don't want .txt. And we'll call this hello world .py. And I'm just going to put it on my desktop right now. Alright, so there we go. We can see that we have our Python program, hello world, written in TextEdit. So if I open my terminal, let's see if we can find this. So I'm going to type is, well, first let's enlarge this so once again you can see what I'm doing. Move this up just so you can see it. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to type cat desktop / hello world.py. So it's on my desktop. Hello world.py is the name of the file. So if I press enter, there we go. We have print, hello world, and we have exit. And all cat does is it just tells me what's inside of the file, and that's exactly what it did there. Alright, but what if we actually want to run it? So instead, I'm going to type Python, because it's going to run Python, it's going to use Python, and I'm going to do, once again, desktop, because that's where it's located, hello world for the file name, .py, because that's the extension. And there we go, it says hello world. Oh, I forgot to add the exclamation point. That's okay. You can add the exclamation point on yours if it matters that much to you. Now that ran, once again, in Python version, so 2.76. What if we want to run it in Python 3? So if we do Python 3, and we do desktop once again, and hello world.py, oh, problem. And that's because print as a statement doesn't work in Python 3, only in Python 2. So let's go in here and modify this. We'll just add the parentheses around this. Let's go ahead and put our exclamation point in there too. And we'll Command S to save. Let's go back to this and let's try it again. So Python 3, desktop, hello world.py. There we go. So we ran it in Python 2 and Python 3, hello world, through the terminal from a .py file written in TextEdit, currently located on our desktop. Now, you might be thinking that's a whole lot of work just to write hello world, but that wasn't all that we did. We've played with the terminal, we've played with TextEdit, you've run a .py file, a .py program, even if extremely simple, from your desktop through the terminal. So, pretty cool. Very, very simple. Maybe a lot of work just to write the letters hello world out, but it's not a bad starting point.